Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and it is day one of our June 2025 release. Hey, so I'm using Jaded Blossom's new Gnome Friends dog dies, their new Life is Tweet stamp set, and the matching outline dies, Jaded Blossom's Snow Globe die, along with their Sweet Baby revamped stamp set, and I'm using the Doggone Cute 6-inch pad, the matching odds and ends, and the matching puffy icon stickers. Okay, so I have a piece of Papertrek white cardstock, 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches with my Martha Stewart scoreboard and my Teflon bone folder. And I'm working on a Stampin' Up! Pad. All my die cutting today was done with my Anna Griffin Empress. Now, I'm just getting this out of the way. I'm doing this voiceover at camp, and you may hear a crackling fire in the background, and that's what that is. Okay, and that was also the little dog that I put together on the Gnome Friends dog dies assembly video, so check that out. Okay, so I'm adding a 1-inch strip of paper from that Doodlebug pad to the inside of my card. I'm just going to trim off that overhang with a pair of scissors. There we go. And next, I've got a piece of paper from that same pad. That is cut at 1/8 of an inch smaller than an A2 size card front. And I'm just using some ATG tape to stick that down on the front, hopefully lining it up. You know, I'm a little more challenged at lining things up these days. I call it the aging vision, right? But there we go. Now I've got a piece of little ephemera here from that odds and ends, Doggone Cute from Doodlebug, and I'm going to add that little dog to the inside. And it happens to be brown like my little dog on the front. And I'm going to add 3 little paw prints as well. So it's just kind of fun. And there'll be plenty of space to write on the inside and add a sentiment as well. So like I said, using Bearly Art glue, and there we go. So now I'm going to stamp on the inside of this card using my Misty and some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. There we go, and I'm stamping from that stamp set Sweet Baby revamped. There we go, and it basically says, congratulations on your new edition. So obviously it's for a baby, but you could use this for a little dog if someone gets a new dog, right? Or a new to them dog, like an adoption. Okay, congratulations on your new edition. It's kind of fun. And I'm just going to add some tape or some Post-it tape just so my sentiment doesn't smear on the inside of my card. It takes a while for that VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink to dry. So now I'm going to stamp a sentiment onto Papertrek white cardstock with that same VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And this is going to be for the front of the card. So the best things in life are rescued, right? Which is perfect for a little dog. I'm going to trim that out, and then I'm going to use the Life is Tweet outline dies to cut that out. I have an Anna Griffin Empress machine, a mini one, sitting on my desk, so I'll be using that to cut this out. There, and I'm just going to, I'll tape it in place a little bit just so it doesn't move around. You know, better to be safe than sorry, right? I don't want to have to restamp that sentiment. And there it is, all cut out. And it's super fun, right? I'm just going to add that back into my package. Okay, so I did cut out this snow globe die, this little border piece, once out of Papertrek white cardstock and then again out of American Crafts gray cardstock. And I just layered those together. I mustn't have hit the record button. I cut the base of the snow globe out of white Papertrek cardstock twice and then once out of this pattern paper from that Doggone Cute 6-inch pad from Doodlebug. Now I'm going to assemble my snow globe. The base is cut out of Papertrek white cardstock. Obviously, you don't have to do this. It's not going to show, but I like the thickness of it. It adds a little bit of dimension without using dimensionals, right? So I'm just lining up that edge of my snow globe. I wanted it to kind of be defined, right? And then I cut the inside pattern out again, and this is out of that same paper that I put on the inside, the paw print, but I'm using the opposite side for green grass. So the whole back will be a green grass layer. And I used the relief piece, that other circle of white Papertrek cardstock that I cut when I was doing the frame piece, And I'm going to glue those two together and then I'll add them to the center of this snow globe. Remember, you can use snow globes for anything, right? They don't have to actually, any season. They don't have to be for Christmas or, winter scenes. They can be anything. So I'm just trying to line up those tufts of grass so they're all kind of facing up. There we go. And then I'm going to weight that down with my acrylic block. Now I am going to add on these 2 layers that I've already layered up, and I'm going to add it to a 3rd layer for the base because it's got to go over the 2 layered edge of that snow globe. And I want it to lie, pretty flat. If I put like a flimsy piece of paper over it, you'd see a bump, right? So I wanted this to be pretty thick by itself. And using ATG tape again and some Barely Art glue. Okay, so there we go. And just lining those up with my snow globe. There it is. And isn't that cute? Now I will be adding that to my background. And this is why I wanted that edge of that snow globe, or the glass part of the snow globe die to be, a nice, darker frame, just so it pops on this background. And the other colors were chosen just so they also pop. So there we go. I'm lining that up. And isn't that cute? I just think it's adorable. And I'm going to have this little dog. Remember, I assembled this dog on the Gnome Friends Dog Dies assembly video. So check that out. And everything that I used to assemble that dog will be listed under that assembly video and also in this blog post over on my blog, which is linked below this video. And isn't that sweet? Oh my goodness, so cute. I love, this is my favorite dog that I put together on that video. So I'm just gluing it down. That's just American Crafts, 2 colors of brown cardstock, black cardstock from American Crafts, Recollections Gold Mirror cardstock, Pure Poppy cardstock from Paper-Tray Ink for the collar. Okay, so you saw that I glued down the sentiment with some Barely Art glue, and now I'm taking some of these puffy stickers, and I'm going to add in 3 of the paw prints. And aren't they cute? I just think it's adorable. Now, this was a very simple card to create. Once your dog is put together, this only takes a few minutes. Isn't that sweet? I'm going to add a few of these little hearts as well. I can't help myself. I was thinking of adding a bone. I'm like, am I going to add a bone here? It's like, nah, I end up not adding a bone, even though I really wanted to. It's like, no, I couldn't make it work. So I'm going to put that one back. But I'm going to add, I've got some little hearts here as well. This is what I do when I'm trying to figure out where I want to put something. So I've got 2 and 3. And isn't that sweet? So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom blog, Be Inspired by the Team. The Jaded Blossom store to get your hands on that. Gotta have it now. Otherwise, you have to wait until Thursday when everything becomes available a la carte. Bye, everybody.